How to breed hermit crabs. Many people wonder whether our little crustacean friends can reproduce. It is quite possible, and with experience and a little bit of luck, soon there will be a new generation of crabs in your tank. Part 1: Setting up the proper tank. 1. Create the right environment. To successfully lure crabs into mating, they need the proper environment, separate from the main tank. Start with a tank, preferably 10 gallons, and add 1 to 2 inches of sand. 2. Control the temperature. Add a heat rock to maintain a temperature of 60 degrees. Place in a protected location away from direct sunlight or air vents. 3. Add branches. Branches and vines from your local reptile supply store will give your crabs a place to hide and something to climb around. This touch of nature will keep your crabs content. Part 2: Choosing the mating crabs. 1. Choose a crab from your tank. Determine the sex of it by checking to see if it has gonophores. After doing this, check other crabs in your tank until you find one of the opposite gender. 2. Place the crabs together. Put the 2 crabs in your newly created enclosure. If they don't mate, try a different combination of crabs. Part 3: The breeding. 1. Be aware that it is very uncommon for this to actually happen, so don't be discouraged if nothing happens. 2. Create a 1-gallon saltwater tank and place it in the tank. 3. Make a ramp leading down from the saltwater tank to 10-gallon tank. 4. Observe the female's eggs. They are attached to her, and when they turn grey, let her put them in the saltwater herself, or try to disconnect the eggs from her. Be careful of mama crab's claws if you try to remove the eggs yourself. 5. When the eggs touch the water, they should hatch. Part 4: Caring for the new crabs. 1. Don't freak out. You may see 200 babies, but only 5 to 20 will survive, depending on how many shells will be provided when they are old enough to live on land. 2. For 14 days, feed them a mixture of brine shrimp, marine infusoria, and powdered spirulina. 3. Take daddy away. It's a good idea to remove the father from the tank as soon as they mate. Remove mother and father from the tank at the 14-day point. The baby hermits need to be isolated for the next 40 days. 4. Choose tiny shells and scatter them across the platform. 5. Provide them with fresh water and the same food mixture until they go into the regular tank. The saltwater tank can be removed after the babies get into their shells. Tips. Remember, unfortunately, it is impossible to breed hermit crabs in captivity. When they mate in the wild, the female lays her eggs in the shallow waves on the beach that then carry the eggs into the ocean. Since this setup is virtually impossible to create, hermit crabs will not successfully mate in captivity. If you are interested in owning a hermit crab as a pet, the only way you can do this is by purchasing one from a pet store. Things: 10-gallon tank, 1-gallon tank, sand, heat rock, branches, vines, salt, filter for saltwater tank, ramp, brine shrimp, marine infusoria, powdered spirulina, shells, dishes.